morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
Good morning. In the headlines, Dominica participates in the signing of Hong Kong Mediation Conference. CARICOM confronts tariff turbulence. LA police enforce curfew as Trump vows to liberate city. And Dominica ends its campaign in CONCACAF qualifiers with a heavy defeat to the Dominican Republic. The details in a moment.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brands.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
We thank you for joining us this morning. I am Ivona John Baptist Luge with the DBS Morning News. Dominica is among 33 countries which signed on to the Convention on the Establishment of the International Organization for Mediation, registering as one of the founding members. Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy, Dr. Vince Henderson, represented Dominica at the signing ceremony which took place in Hong Kong. The convention was negotiated by over 80 countries and 20 international organizations, including the United Nations. The International Organization for Mediation conforms with the principles outlined in Article 33 of the UN Charter, which encourages mediation as a means of resolving international disputes. It was set up to complement existing legal mechanisms that foster harmonious international relations, strengthen global cooperation, and provide a cost-effective alternative to litigation and arbitration. The proposal to establish the organization was spearheaded by the People's Republic of China. By virtue of being signatory to the convention, Dominica reaffirmed support for the establishment of an unbiased and structural platform for mediation. Dominica and Jamaica were the only two CARICOM countries present for the signing. In more news this morning, the National Cooperative Credit Union has a new president. Clement Masler, former deputy leader of the United Workers' Party, was elected president at the institution's annual general meeting last month. Masler says the board aims to implement new initiatives that serves the interests of the members and promotes youth development.
as their humble servant. I look forward to continuing the process, been serving at the NCCU for a previous term, and we were instrumental in our strategic focus. And now we even have a bold and a clear vision to enhance members' value through efficient service delivery, as well responsible lending and active community engagement. And as an institution, we will continue to strengthen our governance, manage risk prudently, and respond proactively to both global economic uncertainties and national economic environment. And this is very critical into ensuring that this financial institution, which is one of the leading financial institutions, remains ahead and effectively serves its members. I think we are a member-owned institution, and the overall focus has to remain on the members. And also want to underscore deep commitment to the youth development, or the financial education and inclusive growth for our members, and we must remain relevant, not only in Dominica, but we can extend further abroad. So those are some of the areas that we look to ensure that we continue creating exciting new initiatives to engage and attract our young members, and ensuring that our corporation remains vibrant.
Newly elected president of the National Cooperative Credit Union, Clement Marcelin. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, is set to present a draft legislation for a regional citizenship by investments regulator to Dominica and 5 of the Caribbean nations this month. This follows extensive consultations with Dominica, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and Grenada. ECCB Governor Timothy Antoine confirmed that the governments are committed to establishing unified oversight of the citizenship by investment programs. Over the past 3 months, the bank has submitted its second draft legal framework to the heads of government, following discussions with regional attorneys general in early May. Governor Antoine indicated that a policy discussion meeting with prime ministers is expected soon. After this meeting, the draft legislation will be shared with stakeholders for a 3 to 4 week review period. The proposed regional regulator will operate under a uniform law across all 5 countries, including Dominica. It aims to establish common standards for due diligence, outsourcing, marketing, and developer engagement. This regulator will function as a separate legal entity from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. The regulator will be responsible for licensing all market participants, monitoring compliance, and enforcing standards. It will also engage with stakeholders at local, regional, and international levels regarding program developments. The National Bank of Dominica is due to launch a new small business unit. The NBD representative Kelvin Touser says the presence of the small business unit should encourage small business enterprise owners.
Also, I would like to take this opportunity to further remind you of our small business unit that we have recently put together, and we should be officially launching hopefully at some time this month or early next month. We'll be looking to assist small business owners and upcoming entrepreneurs like yourself to helping you turn your dream into a reality. So come down and visit us at the Old Street branch, Monday to Friday, where we have very good and capable officers that can help take you from point A to point B to where you want to be, all right? So don't forget to come and check us out. And I want you to remember that National Bank is not just a financial institution, but we are your partner.
National Bank of Dominica representative Kelvin Touser. Minister for Agriculture Roland Royer says close to 140 grants will be disbursed to agro-processors soon. The minister says the grants will help expand the sector.
We've paid a lot of attention to agro-processors. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be awarding about 140 grants to persons who express interest on our grants program, where they'll be able to procure new equipment and to retrofit their facilities so that they can improve or enhance the operations in line with best practices as we look at enhancing the food safety conditions in their facility. So they too are benefiting. We have not left the processors we have not ignored them, so they were taking care of them. In terms of apiculture, last year we promised that would increase the hive by about over 100 hives to increase honey production, because that's a market I think we are not investing enough in, and there's huge potential for the honey trade. So there's a lot of fake honey on our shelves, some being imported, some being done here, and we know globally we have about 40% of the honey on the shelf is considered fake honey. And our honey in Dominica is high quality honey, and people are looking for that type of honey. So that's a little niche we see that we can expand significantly. So we've signed contract with the supplier for the material to build the hives, and soon we'll be assisting our farmers with that as well.
Minister for Agriculture, Roland Royer, and the 4th National Climate Outlook Forum of the Dominica Meteorological Service will focus on the health implications associated with the forecast for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. And that forum is scheduled to take place this morning at 8:30 at the Office of Disaster Management in Jimmet. In news from the region, trade and economic development ministers from the 15-member Caribbean Community CARICOM began a 2-day meeting in Guyana on Tuesday against the background of many trade-related challenges facing the region and in a geopolitical environment which is changing very rapidly. CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett, addressing the 60th meeting of the Council of Trade and Economic Development's quoted, said that the recent tariff shocks are a stark reminder of the need to diversify the region's trade and economic relations. United States President Donald Trump has implemented a series of trade tariffs on countries worldwide, including the Caribbean, in a move economists and other traders say is designed to dismantle much of the architecture of the global economy and trigger broader trade wars. In the case of the Caribbean, Trump announced a 10% tariff on most regional countries, while in the case of Guyana, the tariff is as high as 38%. Barnett told the conference that a report on the regional industrial policy will be presented at the meeting, noting this policy can become an important aspect of the deepening of the regional integration strategy going forward. And Los Angeles police say they have made mass arrests after a 5th day of protests over U.S. President Donald Trump's immigration raids. Mayor Karen Bass declared an overnight curfew within a relatively small area of the city's downtown district, saying businesses were being vandalized and looted. Elsewhere, the immigration raids that triggered the protests last Friday have continued, with deployed National Guard troops now protecting border control agents on enforcement operations. Trump's row with state officials ramped up after he deployed troops to L.A. The president has now vowed to liberate the city, but has been accused by California Governor Gavin Newsom of an assault on democracy. On Tuesday, Trump defended his decision to send 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines, saying it was to prevent the city being conquered by a foreign enemy. These troops lack the authority to make arrests and have instead been tasked only with protecting federal property and personnel. That's news. Before we go to sports, let's just recap the headlines. Dominica participates in the signing of Hong Kong Mediation Conference. CARICOM Conference tariff turbulence. LA police enforce curfew as Trump vows to liberate city. And coming up in sports, Dominica ends its campaign in CONCACAF qualifiers with a heavy defeat to the Dominican Republic.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola, such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Welcome to the Morning Sport Report. Dominica ended its campaign in the CONCACAF qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a heavy defeat to the Dominican Republic in the team's final match on Tuesday. Dominica entered the match knowing that a win would see them finish the group in third place, but it was the home team that came out dominating events. The Dominican national team was down 4-0 at halftime. The team put up a much better performance in the second half, but could not find the back of the net with the few chances they managed. In the end, the Dominican Republic won 5-0. Head coach Ellington Sabin was disappointed with the showing.
Well, I mean, we started the first half, we gave up 4 goals in the first half. We started kind of slow, but we made improvements in the second half of the game, only conceding 1 goal in the dying moments, and that is a positive takeaway from the game. I mean, 5-0 against a team that's preparing to play Mexico next Saturday is not the worst score, but I mean, that's not what we came out for. But in the end, is what happened this evening.
Where can you pinpoint where things went wrong? I mean, we conceded 4 in the first half. You know, what are some of the defensive errors you think we made?
Well, I wouldn't say went wrong, it's just some decision making sometimes and you know, communication at the back there. But overall, it was not a totally bad game. I mean, like I said, 4-0 against a team preparing to play Gold Cup against Mexico next week is not too bad.
All right, and looking at this second half, a much better effort. Yes, Dominica conceded another goal late in the second half there, but what would you pinpoint as to some of the reasons for that better performance in the second half?
Well, defensive organization and compactness and stifling them in the middle of the field, giving them the space out wide and not allowing them to penetrate and running and shocking the runners of the ball.
All right, Coach, that brings us to the end of the World Cup qualifiers. We'll finish in 4th place on 3 points. How would you sum up the campaign?
Well, the campaign wasn't the best of campaigns. We had some tough opponents in the beginning, but towards the end we showed character. We had won a game. So, I mean, it augurs well for a team of that youthful nature going forward into the football, Dominican football.
You mentioned youthful, of course, a lot of new guys, young faces, played some sort of role in the World Cup qualifiers. How would you, assess them, and how would you plan on, helping them to improve on their craft for years to come?
Well, it's just time. It's just to give them time, give the youth time. I mean, it's like I said, it's a youthful thing, just to give them time to gel, to give them time to understand, how we want to play. And in the future, I expect good things from them.
And that was head coach Ellington Sabin. Travis Joseph captained the side last night.
Well, my thoughts on the game really, I didn't feel like I was outplayed, because those goals came from like simple basic mistakes and things we shouldn't let happen. But that's how it is on the day, and we just have to accept it and go and regroup.
What are some of the positives you can take from this game? Yes, it's a 5-0 defeat, but in terms of the way the team played, especially in the second half, what are some of the positives?
Well, the whole second half on a whole was a positive because of how we started it, and that's exactly how we had to start the first half as well. So we have a lot of positive to take from the second half, especially because we got some nice play in the final third and also a little bit more patience on the ball. So there are some positives in the second half.
How difficult was it in that first half, Travis, when the DR team really had us under pressure? We were struggling for possession and everything.
Well, that's why we have to keep our minds because on our calm. Because yes, we were under pressure, but when we had the ball, we had space to make little passes, and just because of a little panic, we lost it again, and that's why that invited a lot of more pressure on us. So,
Travis, end of the campaign for the World Cup qualifiers, but surely not the end for you. We'll have some time to reflect. We don't play again until 2026. What will be your words of encouragement to the rest of the team?
Well, my words of encouragement to the team is everyone, because our game is still next year, September, I think. Yeah. So everyone just has to be honest with themselves and put in the work for themselves before we take national training, so we won't have to be working on fitness and so on. So just work on ourselves and on our mind and our calmness, and the simple basic things: control, pass, look for space and calmness. So my words to them is just keep working.
Captain Travis Joseph. In the other Group E match last night, Jamaica beats Guatemala 3-0. Group E ended with Jamaica on 12 points, Guatemala 9 points, the Dominican Republic 6 points, Dominica 3 points, and the British Virgin Islands 3 points. Cricket news: Dominicans Alec Athanaze and Kavim Hodge have been dropped from the West Indies Test team for the upcoming Australia series. A 16-member squad was announced Tuesday for the 3-match home test series, which begins on Wednesday, June 25 at Kensington Oval in Barbados for the coveted Sir Frank Wobble Trophy. With this series signaling the critical start of the 2025-2027 ICC Test Championship cycle, several changes have been made to the squad that last featured in the drawn series against Pakistan earlier this year. CWI Director of Cricket Miles Bascom expressed that selections were made in line with the team's commitment to building a bold, execution-driven identity in Test cricket, with consistency in batting outputs and a dynamic bowling attack being key in the overall assessment. The West Indies Test squad for the series against Australia reads: Ruston Chase, captain; Jomel Warrican, vice-captain; Kevlin Anderson, Craig Brathwaite, John Campbell, Casey Carty, Justin Greaves, Shea Hope, Tevin Imlach, Alzari Joseph, Shama Joseph, Brandon King, Johan Lane, Mikael Louis, Anderson Phillip, and Jason Seals. West Indies head coach Darren Sammy says the team was poor as they suffered their second whitewash against England on Tuesday. The Windies lost the third and final T20 by 34 runs to hand England a comfortable 3-0 series win. England also won the ODI series 3-0. Sammy says there is a lot of work to do ahead of the next World Cup.
I think it's a question of skills. When being put under pressure, do we have the skill set to be disciplined with our plans? Do we back our ability long enough? Something, especially from a bowling point of view. We've been trying to search how do we restrict teams when they put us under the pump. They might have patches where, a batting team gets the better of you, but the ability to pull it back. We've seen England do it when we put them under pressure, the ability to go to a plan and get results. And to me, that's the most worrying thing. And I look at my team and I say, I got the best players from the Caribbean here. So it's a conversation with a World Cup less than 8 months, I think. How do we get our bowling right? Because I think the batting will be more consistent. They have been over the last 2 years.
Meantime, Sammy has commented on the sudden retirement of Nicholas Pooran, saying given the current climate for cricket, he expects more players to follow suit.
Just like I can't tell anybody when to call time on the carrier, when to call time on the carrier, when to play for West Indies, it's a personal choice. So yes, I was hoping that it didn't happen, but in my mind I was already planning that we may have a T20 team without Pooran. I'm pretty sure more will follow in that mood, in that direction. I would not be surprised. That's the way T20 cricket is now, and especially coming from the West Indies, the challenges that we face, trying to keep our players, motivated to play for the crest. So I wouldn't be surprised. A few guys, you saw everybody talk about Henry Claassen, Quintin de Kock, all these guys who've retired. It's out of our control.
West Indies head coach Darren Sammy. Basketball news now. Leslie Bengabel was too hot to handle as he led GGB of Guadeloupe to victory in the finals of the Creole Northern Conference Basketball Cup at the Massac Indoor facility on Monday. Bengabel, one of the organizers of the competition, shot 20 points, Helia 18 and Marvin John Baptist 17 as GGB Guadeloupe defeated Ravens of Guyana 87-73. Shamak Montley 23, Smith 11, Dominic Vincent and Ryan Gullen 10 points. Bengabel says GGB of Guadeloupe executed well on the night and took the title.
It was a great team performance. Everybody gave it to the team. We know it will be a great fight tonight because the Ravens team, the champion of Guyana, so they are a good team. We saw them play the first game and we knew it's going to be a big fight, but we keep it together and we finally won.
What strategies did you all have to use tonight to beat the Guyana tonight?
We had to do a lot of adjustment, because they got shooters everywhere and they can drive also. So we had to make some choices because we know we're good inside. We're better than them, so we had to force them to go play inside and not shooting the ball. Sometimes we did it well, sometimes we didn't, but that's the game. The game is on the long term. It's not a race, it's a marathon.
You saw the 4 nights of basketball in Dominica. You all emerged winners. Do you think you have the overall best team in this tournament?
I'm not going to say we have the best team. I will say we have the best team play. We're really well organized. Good communication, everybody respect his spot and what he has to do on the court. So at the end of the day, yeah, we are the best team because we play better than the other one.
In the third place match among the Dominican teams, Detroit Blazers beat Happy 787 Sports Club Dominators 83-72. Dred Swan-Louis was outstanding with 25 points. Mishak Debole and Maxwell Birmingham 17. Donnie Robinson 11 and Lester Langley 8 scored for Blazers. Blazers captain is Lester Langley.
It's another hard-fought tournament. We did try to get properly prepared, but our first game we were a little leggy in the sense of to catch ourselves in our fitness. So as the game's going along, we're getting fitter and fitter. So that help us to continue with the tournament. Well, we have our first game, our very first game, we lost to Ravens, and we won our last 2 games. Every tournament we have international teams. We always have good and bad to get from it, and we have plenty good to get out of it because our players learn to adjust quicker, and we learn to slow and pace up when we have to. So all in all, the team right now, we as you can see, we try to implement for more younger players, and you know it is already. Fellas, you have to beg them, but yet still, we're still coping, but the tournament was a success.
The Trailblazers captain Lester Langley, coach of Happy 767 Sports Club Dominators, is Dunstan Maggie Peters.
Yeah, well, we started off real good. We won our first game against the Guyanese, the Eagles from Guyana. And after that, I really thought we was going to go all the way. You know what I mean? I really fully confident that we was going to be that team to win everything. But our second game, we played against the Guadeloupe team, GGB. They give us a rude awakening. They're really fundamentalist, sound. You know, they have a lot of, organized and stuff like that. So that really held us down. And then tonight we came up against the Blazers, the champions. And every time we play them, somebody seemed to just go off. And tonight it was Dred Swanley, one of the young players. I'm really happy for him because he's a player. We only see the young players and them really, elevate and evolve. So Dred Swanley was a difference maker. We played hard. We did all that we could do, but it was just not about night to night, and it was Dred Swanley night to night. Everything he put up was just falling. Yeah, it was just raining for Dred Swanley.
So what do you take away from this tournament?
Yeah, well, from the tournament I say, well, we just need to get more organized. We need to practice, get some plays so that when we come down the court on offense, that we can have some go-to plays that we can execute. And when we need a basket, we don't have that. We start working on it, but we just have to continue so we can get there. It's a process, and we're on the right track. You know what I mean?
Coach of Happy 767 Sports Club Dominators, Dunstan Maggie Peters, former national referee Allington James was recognized during the finals for his many years of service to basketball. As we end, we can tell you quickly that 74 athletes from 9 clubs and schools across Dominica participated in the 2025 Grand Bay Cooperative Credit Union Isidore Road Race. The road race, which was held on Sunday, was held with the Athens Athletics Club. Let's hear from the Public Relations Officer, Lucille Paquette.
Juveniles, 0.6 carries. Both records and expectations were shattered in the youngest category. Boys overall. First place, Anil Edwards of the Aspirers Athletics Club, setting a new record of 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Second place, Desmond Kazimi of the Grand Bay Primary School, and third place, Ethan Hippolyte of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club. Girls overall. First place, Esther Frank of the Aspirers Athletics Club, setting a new record of 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Second place, Kyra Bedminster of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club, and third place, Adelia Joseph of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club. Juniors 2 carries. Boys overall. First place, Daniel Thomas of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club. Second place, Antoine Lewis of the Dominica Grammar School, and third place, Omari Caesar of the Aspirers Athletics Club. Girls overall. First place, Shanice Frank of the Aspirers Athletics Club. Second place, Amidi Joseph of the Aspirers Athletics Club, and third place, Leila Benjamin of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club.
And we'll have more on this in a subsequent sportscast. Join us, of course, at 6:20 this evening, and you'll have more on this very interesting sporting event. Well, that's how we come to the end of the DBS Morning News and Sports. Join us at 1:15. We'll have another major package. Before that, we'll have a news preview at 11 o'clock. On behalf of the news and sports desks and our links personnel, Milia Joseph Dennis, I am Ivona John Baptist Luge. Good morning.